United States Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. Great to have you on this morning, Mr. Secretary. You're a veteran. You've told us on this program all you're trying to do is help veterans and make sure money funded to the VA is actually being spent on benefiting them. Yet it seems like your time now is being wasted having to defend and fight back against these fake reports. What say you?
Well, unfortunately, that's right. It's good to see y'all this morning. It just seems like, look, when you start attacking what the, many in the liberal legacy media, the folks who have issues with government jobs, I mean, when they're making their living basically on it, when you have unions, you have others, and you also have members of Congress who have no way to fight back against what Donald Trump is bringing to D.C., and that is generational change, then what do? You just start making stuff up. The sad part about this is we're dealing with people's lives, we're dealing with people's fears, we're dealing with people's hopes. And here at the VA, I take that very seriously. Not only the employees here, but also the ones that we serve, and that's the veterans. So if you start scaring my veterans, you start scaring my employees with fake information, false news, innuendo, and rumor, then you're going to find that I'm going to be on the other end calling you out for it.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Secretary, you and I have known each other a long time. We've talked about this. You want to lie about the polls and say Trump's losing when he's winning? Yeah, the truth will come out. You lie about tax cuts, guess what? People are going to get it. You lie about the VA, and American heroes feel like they can't call for help or go to a hospital. That's putting people's lives at risk. It's irresponsible. But do you think this reporter and maybe others are realizing that's a mistake?
I think they are now. I think beforehand it was just the go along to get along club up here, and Mark, up here inside this little 10-mile area, it's the press's happy clappy club. They just all love each other, and they just basically talk about what they want to talk about and then praise each other for scoops and dishes and everything else. The problem is outside this beltway, people are concerned. People are fearful, even employees of the VA, employees of other agencies as well. But what we've got to do is set the honest truth out there about what we're doing and trying to redirect money and find savings so that we can do better care for our veterans out there. Remember, the GAO has had the VA health system on what they call a high-risk list for over 10 years, meaning that they're susceptible to fraud, waste, and abuse, that medical issues and practices are not as safe as they could be. This is something for 10 years that's been going on up here. And so it's interesting for those now that have talked about it, who've complained about it, who've used the VA as a kicking bag. Now when somebody like myself or others are trying to put out real solutions that we think will help, now they say they don't want anything to change. That's just not going to happen. The VA was not perfect on January 19th and all of a sudden became bad when Donald Trump became the president. What we've had is issues that we're always fixing in a very large organization, and we're doing every day to do what our mission one is, and that's the veteran.
Such a good point. I do want to ask you about something that happened on Tuesday. So Democrats introducing a bill called the Putting Veterans First Act that would rehire all of the workers cut from the VA through Doge. So Senator Bernie Sanders spoke about the bill yesterday. Take a listen to what he had to say.
The agency was already short-staffed. Yet, as we speak, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are trying to dismantle the VA by laying off an additional 83,000 employees.
Try to dismantle the VA? What's your response to that and to this bill?
Well, I mean, look, if Bernie is entitled to his opinion, he's just not entitled to his own facts. And, as we look at this going forward, we are looking at basically a government-wide reduction in force. It's going to be very deliberately done here, very much with our VA career employees, our senior executives and others, to make sure that we're getting the resources and money where it needs to go. But I got a better idea for a bill that's going nowhere. By the way, I'm glad baseball is right around the corner, because this is just nothing but grandstanding to say that they want to do something. But here's an idea for Senator Sanders. He wants to be helpful. Then why don't he introduce a bill that allows me to actually go out and recruit doctors and nurses at a higher pay level? Why don't you let me have that so I can move money around, so I can actually go out in the field and recruit healthcare professionals on par with some of the other private facilities and others that we have to deal with, so that we can then combine resources and maybe help even better clear up some of our backlog where we're trying to get doctors and nurses, which we've been doing. By the way, just a quick note. Every 2 weeks, we hire well over 1,000 people in some weeks that are continually coming to the VA to help with health care, help with benefits, those 300,000 protected jobs. So for Bernie Sanders, again, to stand in the front of the Capitol and make statements like we're, gutting it. I know in one area he said we're gutting the department, and then to try and tie it to the old trite line that we're taking the money and giving it to billionaires. that song is so old. I mean, if it was still on a record when it first came out, and it's scratched.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.